New dads, what is going on? So I'm back with another video talking to all you new fathers out there and experienced ones. So we're going to get into it. So what's some things that I want to really just go over is things you should be doing as a new father, or things you should expect, I should say, as a new dad. So one of the things that I really say you should expect is when your child first comes into this world, just understand your schedule is going to change big time. Don't expect to hang out with them same friends that you hung out with before your child was born. Because here's the thing, your relationship with your single friends is going to change a lot. So if you are used to going out drinking, bar hopping, going out to the clubs, scoping out the scene, doing all type of reckless stuff with your single friends, all of that is about to change. And I regret to tell you, sure, you could disobey what I'm saying and still try to manage to do it, but it's going to be much harder to do those things with a newborn child if you're responsible. You're not going to want to do these things because your child is going to, or should, change your mental way of thinking. When your child comes into this world, you're going to start thinking in a different way, in a different light. Or at least it should. If you have every intention of raising your child the proper way, your mind state is going to change. It's not going to be, let me go to this club on Friday. Let me see the scenes. Let me see what's going on in the clubs. Let me see what's trendy. All of that is going to disappear. Especially as a new dad, if you are married with children, that changes dynamics for a lot of other things. It changes dynamics for who both of you hang out with now. Because, let me tell you one thing. As a married couple, hanging around single people can get you effed up. I repeat, I'm going to say it again. Hanging around single people will get you effed up. In many ways, more than one way than you can think about. Think about it. Your friend is single. What is he doing hanging out with you as a married man now? He's going to see things on the grill that looks juicy, succulent, that you can't look at anymore. Or you can look at it, don't get me wrong, but you can't sink your teeth into like you used to do back in the day when you were a bachelor. Come on, let's bring out the truth. Let's bring out the truth. You cannot do those things anymore. Your single friend can go home at midnight if he wants to. It don't matter. 2 a.m. You with your newborn child, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You can choose to try to do that, but that would be irresponsible on your end as a father to do that. And I'm sure your significant other would be wondering, where are you? And I'm sure she wouldn't like you to be out at that time of night. It just can't go down anymore. You cannot hang out the same way you hung out when you were single. When you're married and you have a child, things change drastically. You no longer can hang out with the same single friends. And a lot of times, if they're your friend, they'll understand that you'll tell them no, that you can't hang out this Friday night. You can't go to that club. You can't go to that bar. They should understand that your priorities have changed. You're no longer single. You have a child that you have to prioritize. You have a wife that you have to prioritize. And if they're your true friend, they're going to understand. Some friends are not going to understand. I'm going to be honest. Some of them are not going to understand. They're going to look you in your eye and be like, man, you changed. Man, you coochie whipped. You know, I'm not going to say the other vulgar term. You coochie whipped. You used to hang out all times of the night. What's going on? Now you got to get home? What's up with that? You got friends like that that'll judge you, and they won't even try to dive deep into what you're trying to say to them, because they still have that single selfish state of mind. So they don't want to understand what you're saying to them. They don't want to understand it. You're telling them, I got to get home, take care of my child. I can't be out all times of the night. What responsible father would I be if I was out all times of the night and my child was just born last week? What am I doing? That's not responsible of me to do that. But like I said, you're going to have friends that just won't understand what you're saying to them. They won't understand your situation because when they go home, they can just drop in the bed without even brushing their mouth, brushing their teeth. They go right in the bed and go to sleep. You, on the other hand, you got to go make that baby's bottle and relieve your significant other so she can have time to rest, since she's been caring for the baby while you were out having fun. This is the reality. This is the reality of becoming a new father. You're going to have to go through a lot of these changes. Your time is precious. So a lot of the people that you hung out with, a lot of them are not going to understand it. Maybe some. Many of them probably won't understand it if they're not going through it with you. If they have kids, they're going to understand it more. They're more likely to understand it because they go through it the same way as you are going through it now. And to be honest, I have 2 kids. And the times when my wife and I would want to, hang out with another couple, it'll always be someone that's married. And honestly, that's the best way. That's the best way to hang out with someone. Couples who are married. Because you both of you guys have responsibilities as far as being married. And it makes it a little easier when that couple also has children. So they know, listen, we have responsibilities too. We can't stay out all night. Because if you have kids with your wife and that other couple is just married but they don't have kids, again, you're going to go through different ways of thinking. That married couple may want to stay out later. They may not want to go home. Because all they can think about, or all they have to do is go home to have sex. While you got to get home and get the kids' clothes together for school. That's a whole nother thing. You see what I mean? The responsibilities. Not saying the people that have that luxury of having sex when they get home. But you as a parent, because you're the one with kids, they're not. You as a parent, you have other responsibilities. Other responsibilities that you need to take care of when you get home. Them, on the other hand, no. They don't have that responsibility. So they're not going to think the same way that you think. And that's okay. But I'm just letting you know, expect this, new dads. Expect this. Things will change. Sex will change. Understand this. This is where my passion becomes deeper now that we're talking about this topic. Sex will change. And honestly, you have to work harder to make the sex, how can I put this? You got to work harder to make the sex more exciting. Like you have to, because when you get married, new dads, when you get married and you're married for a while, the sex is going to change. It's not going to be that, oh, let's jump in the back seat of the car. Let's Let's go into that. Let's go into that dressing room at Macy's. Let's go mess around real quick. Got something to show you. It's not going to be that spontaneous kind of sex unless you work at it to keep it that way. Do you guys hear me? You have to work at keeping your sex life, your marriage life. You got to work at keeping that candle wick hot. Because one thing kids will do, you will get so caught up in raising your children, trying to take care of your responsibility, that sometimes you forget before you even had kids, you were married. Now you're drifting off from that responsibility because you're prioritizing the kids. You're not prioritizing your marriage now. Now that's suffering without you even realizing that you need to take care of that too. Because to be honest, one day, the kids are not going to be in your home. The kids are not going to be in your home. Then you're just going to be looking at your wife. And then what you going to do? What are y'all going to do? Y'all going to play Scrabble? Y'all just going to be staring blankly at each other, not understanding what to do. Because you didn't prioritize being married. You have to prioritize being married and understanding that we got to take care of each other too. And it's not only just about sex. Like, take the time to rub your wife down in oils. Just surprise her. Lay her on her stomach. Go get some coconut oil. Turn off all the lights. Light a candle. Teddy Pendergrass. Put it on if you want. And just oil her down and tell her how beautiful she is. Something small like that can probably just light the candle of your marriage and kind of bring back what you guys had before the kids. Because like I said, the kids can take away from that fire that you had burning before they arrived. Take away that fire. Just blow it out. Just a lot of people's marriages are frigid and they don't even realize it because they're so focused in on doing stuff for the kids, making sure all of it, and this can happen to any marriage. I'm telling you guys, it can happen to any marriage, but you got to understand, you got to work at it. Everything that's worth having in life, you have to work at it. It's not going to come easy. You want a great marriage? What are you going to do to keep that marriage? You can't just say, I want a marriage, and then don't work at it. There's no PTO in marriage. You can't just go online and say, you know what, this Thursday, I'm going to take off. I'm going to use a sick day here, and then Friday, I'm going to use my vacation. None of that. There's no PTO in marriage. You got to work at it every single day. 365 days a year. You got to work at your marriage. You guys think I'm BSing? I'm not. Every single day you got to work at it. Nobody's going to do the work for you. Nobody's going to do the work for you in your own marriage. You have to know, I got to do overtime. I got to make sure I work the zombie shift. I got to do all the things possible to make sure we are good and we are going to be better. Do the little things you used to do while y'all were dating. I think that's the secret potion to how to maintain a marriage. That's one of the secret potions you need to take. One of the secret elixirs. We need to continue to do the things we did while we were dating. Because honestly, we did more. I feel like a lot of people did more during the liking phase. So when we liked someone, we were able to do so many things. When we loved someone, we got comfortable. Because we felt they would always be there. Because we already tied the knot, we love each other, we're here. But remember when you liked someone, Oh man. When you like someone, you went all the way out to show them you like them. You would do things you normally would not do. You would drive distances that you normally would not drive. You wouldn't ask for no gas money, none of that. Just, I'm there. What time you need me? This is what you would do when you like someone. The liking stage. And we need to bring it back. But like I said, dads, that's the topic, that's the advice I'm giving you guys, because they didn't tell me that when I would become a dad, how much my schedule would change. How I would have to say no more often to people. No, I can't do it. And don't feel like you always got to explain your no. Sometimes your no is just a no. Don't feel like you always got to explain why you're saying no to someone. You're a grown man. You don't got to explain anything to anyone. Just tell them I can't do it. There should be no explanation all the time for anything that you don't want to do. And whoever's asking you that question, they just got to understand it. Me personally, when I do hang out as a married man, I don't want to hang out with any single man. I don't. Because like I said, we got nothing in common. There ain't no reason I should be hanging out with a single man. Like I said, his eyes are wandering constantly. His eyes are wandering constantly. My eyes don't want to wander. I got my focus on the areas where I should be focused. Am I a man at the end of the day? Yes. Will I see things or will I see women that are beautiful and gorgeous? Yes. I will. And I will say right here and there, right here, because it's not said a lot. I love black women. There's no other woman on this earth that I would be married to than a black woman, black queen. Anyone